All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until about 5 o'clock today. I appreciate everybody showing up already. Let's get right to it. Right out the gate first is Anthony Prosser. Good afternoon, Anthony. Lewis Talbert in the house. Good afternoon, Lewis. Good afternoon. Jerica Vaughn. What is it? Which one is it? You have to let me know for sure. Jerica Vaughn. I'm not sure. No, I know which one it is. I just like mixing them up. Jerica Vaughn in the house. Good afternoon. Erica Hummins, representing Reading. Good afternoon. And rounding out the top five, Maria Smith out there in North College Hill. Good afternoon to the top. That was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's the top five. Good afternoon, Maria. Good afternoon, top five. Good afternoon, everybody. We got DeAndre Crosby in the house. Good afternoon. Nick Brown out there in beautiful Blue Ash. Good afternoon. Okay. I hear an alarm of some sort going off. It stopped. Hold on, I might want to check on that. You hear alarms? You have to check on the alarms. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I heard the alarm. Hold on. Yes. Is everything all right? Okay, I heard an alarm going off. Yeah. You didn't hear that? Maybe that was the neighbor's something or another. No. No. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that was an alarm of some sort. That was a No, it's not down here. It was definitely either upstairs or outside. All right. All right. Yeah. I'm on air. But I heard it and I was like, oh. So I just checking. All right. All right. Bye. All right. She said it sounded like a truck backing up, but that sounded like an alarm to me. All right. Where was I? I said DeAndre, Nick Brown. I think I was about to say Terry Anderson. Good afternoon, representing downtown. James Benta in, Washington? Washington or Oregon, somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. I don't remember exactly now. But James, good afternoon. Got Jacqueline Carter representing Evanston. Good afternoon. Fame Rothstein, better known as Edsel. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I just don't believe you. I need to see Smithy. He's out there in Butler County. Good afternoon. Let me see. Lewis said, looked like your power went in and out. I don't know about that. Shirley, my cousin, Shirley. I had to let y'all know it's my cousin. Really, I'm just shouting her out as my cousin. Shirley Howe. Good afternoon, Shirley. Let me see. Bonita in the house representing Roseline. Good afternoon, Bonita. Good afternoon. Mike Ballard in Bridgewater Falls. That sounds like a wealthy community. Good afternoon. And we got Miss Pittsburgh in the house. She says, here we go. All right. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. All right. Sierra Brooks in the house. She's representing Paris. All right. You go to Paris a lot. I don't know what that's about, but it's beginning to make me not like you. So You might want to stay in Boston some of the time. Sierra, good afternoon. Kim Moore Everhart, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Of course, Sierra, I'm just kidding. Believe it or not, I have no desire to go to Paris or, London or, really Europe at all. I have no desire to go to Europe. I don't need to ever see Spain. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, now, if Mrs. Livingston said, hey, I booked us a trip, we going to Europe in 2 weeks, I would go. And I would enjoy myself because I enjoy myself really anywhere I go. But there's no part of me, like if left up to me, I'd never book a trip to Europe. I'm cool never seeing Europe. Like, I don't know. Nothing against Europe. Like, I'm not anti-Europe. Like, fuck Europe. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any aggression towards Europe or anything like that. I just don't have there's nothing in me that's like, hey, I really want to see the real Eiffel Tower. I don't care. I don't care about stuff like that. I don't know why. Like, I'd like to travel. I want to see the world. I got nothing against you. And I hope that you get to. But for me, no. Like, I'm going to go to Africa, at some point. I'm going to check out Hawaii, which, I know is part of the United States, but that's a different part of the world. So I'm going to check out Hawaii. I'm going to check out Africa, but like Australia and Europe and Asia, and I just don't have a desire. I don't know why. All of that from her saying she's in Paris. All right. Tria Gaines representing Avondale. Classy as always. Good afternoon, Tria. Good afternoon. Pamela Kinney representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We got Terry Coleman in the house representing E-Town, Evanston, or as some people say, Evingston. Good afternoon. Andrea Bustle representing downtown. Good afternoon. Daryl says, I'm here now. The show can begin. Thank you. Thank you. James said, you're not missing anything. Bad food and the people smell. Okay, I don't know about all that. Danny Dozier representing Westwood. Sierra South checking in. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate you letting us know that you in France. Gotta let me know where you represent. Because now, any opinions that you give, that's the opinion of everybody in France. Unless somebody else in France get their French A on the phone or on the line and say something different, your opinions represent the area that you're from. It's like you got elected. Just different. Let me see. Africa and Hawaii are on my bucket list. Yeah. I want to go to a few countries in Africa. I know I want to hit Ghana. I know I want to hit Nigeria. I know I want to hit Zimbabwe. I'm sure there are a few more that I want to hit. I don't necessarily care about seeing the pyramids, but you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind hitting Egypt or, whatever. But I know I want to hit those three. Let's see. Regina Denson Griffin representing Claremont County. All right. Well, good afternoon to all of you who decided to come in and check me out. I appreciate y'all. Excuse me. I got to talk about Tyler Perry. I'm going to read the news straight from the Associated Press. Hold on. Where is the AP? Straight from the Associated Press. And I wish I had time to actually look up the lawsuit and get even more details. But just hold on. Before I even talk about it, before I even hit the lawsuit, let me say this. I'm not anti-Tyler Perry as a human. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a human. But I could always tell he clearly don't like black men. And I don't appreciate his material. Just flat out, I think a lot of stuff he make is trash. I ain't seen that latest one, Straw, and I'll be all right if I never see it, even though I think Mrs. Livingston want to watch it. She haven't said she want to watch it, but I think she might want to watch it. So, but I'm not pressed to watch it. If I never see it, somehow I think my life will still be okay. But I think a lot of the stuff he do is trash. When I see, when I come in and I see Mrs. Livingston watching movies, and I'll be like, or TV shows, I'll be like, that's some Tyler Perry ass, ain't it? And she'd be like, I think so. And then I might watch it for a few seconds, and then I see the gay character, and, I'll be like, yeah, that's Tyler Perry. Yeah, it's Tyler Perry, And I'll be like, just his stuff is just trash to me. But that don't mean I want to see nothing bad happen to the brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't appreciate his skill set in terms of writing and directing and lighting and all that, acting, casting. I don't appreciate that stuff. All of that being said, I always thought that dude was gay. I can't prove it. I still can't prove it, but I always thought that dude was gay. It's not because he do the Medea thing. It's all of it. It's all of it put together. And I'm like, that dude is gay. And that only matter in the sense of, the stuff that he do is trash and he always got to have some gay. And I'm like, and everybody be like, oh, if you check out his story, then you'll understand some things. I've not heard him tell his story. I've not read his story. Any of that kind of stuff. I've not done any of that. But somebody touched him. You know what I'm saying? A dark-skinned black man touched him when he was little would be my guess. That's why he don't like dark-skinned men. And in his earlier movies anyway, you'll always tell who's the bad guy in the movie. Find the darkest skinned black man. He's the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? If he was doing a whodunit, who's the darkest skinned black man? Why Did I Get Married? The worst character was the darkest brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, what was the one, the Diary of the Mad Black Woman? The worst character, the beater and all that stuff, the darkest brother. You know what I'm saying? That's just a dark-skinned black man did some bad stuff to that man. And he holds resentment towards dark-skinned black men. And then people start bringing it up. Like, oh, why is always the dark-skinned black man is bad? And then he start making it the light-skinned black man. You know what I'm saying? It just, but it wasn't just that. Like, some dark-skinned black man, maybe an uncle or something like that, touched him, messed with him. And sometimes, I'm not saying always, because I'm not, I'm not gay. And even if I was gay, my gay experience would be my own gay experience. Okay? So I wouldn't be like, well, somebody touched me and that's why I'm gay. So you gay, that means somebody touched you. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily, what affects one person one way don't necessarily affect another person that same way. But I think that might have affected him in some way, and he's gay now. Again, these are just my thoughts. I'm not saying with no 100% certainty that Tyler Perry's gay. I'm saying, well, this is what I believe. Just based on my observance, again, not knowing his story. I've never heard him tell his story. I've never looked for it. I never read it. Don't care. But I think a dark-skinned black man touched him when he was young, and it messed him up somehow. And not to say that if you're gay, you're messed up, but some people who are messed up are also gay. And so it messed him up somehow, and he gay. He's ashamed of it, because Maybe he wasn't one of the, how they say, being gay is not a choice. You're born that way. He might not have been one of the ones that was born that way. He was one of the ones that got confused by being touched by some man. And I won't say he liked it. I was listening to, I'm going to be jumping a little bit all over the place, but I'm going to get to the AP story in a minute. I was listening to, I forget what it was. It was something about abuse. And one of the things that the survivors of abuse were saying was that there was some of the shame involved in it, was that from time to time they liked it. Not that they liked being abused, but a man performing a sex act on you still might make you have an orgasm. And who amongst us can deny that orgasms feel amazing? And so somebody's sexually assaulting you and you don't like it, but they make you have an orgasm. And you're like, oh my God, you call God and Jesus. Jesus, yes, but you didn't like it, but you liked it. And apparently there's some shame involved in that. This is what the survivors were saying. And so there's some shame apparently involved where, he has these feelings because of this stuff that this dark-skinned black man did to him when he was little. And he liked it, but he don't like that he liked it because he wasn't supposed to like it, And so he's ashamed of having those feelings. Plus, of course, he's in the entertainment industry, and for whatever reason, people who are gay just don't come out and say, I'm gay, because they feel like it would negatively affect, especially, he moving in that Christian space. Like, if I come out and say I'm gay, then I'm going to lose some of my support because a lot of them are Christian. So I think there's a lot going on with a Tyler Perry. And because he can't be true to who he is, he uses his art. It's art. It is art. It's bad art, but it's still art. He uses his art to kind of express himself. So I don't like Tyler Perry. Jacqueline says there's a documentary about his life on Prime Video. Explains a lot. Never seen it, never gonna watch it. I have my opinion, and I think I'm right. But again, all of that being said, I believe the dude is gay. And so these allegations are not surprising to me. They're not surprising to me. We've actually heard people insinuate similar allegations, but, whether or not they had a conversation with him or threatened to sue him or he threatened to ruin their career or whatever. I've heard at least one other male person who has starred in, or at least been in, a project that he produced insinuate that something happened, but never followed through with it. I don't remember that brother's name, but he insinuated it, but he left it there. But this is a white dude, apparently. Hold on, let me look just to make sure. Derek Dixon, I heard somebody say he was white. I didn't even actually look that up. And that's a quick Google search. Google. Who is Derek Dixon? He looked white to me. Okay, so he is white. And that kind of makes sense. Because you hear black entertainers talk about how hard it is to get work. And Tyler Perry allegedly is giving them all work and paying them all well. And so if you black and Tyler Perry sexually harasses you, you don't want to get blackballed. Ooh. I didn't intend any pun by that. But you don't want to get put on a list where you can't get work from Tyler Perry. And, I believe like him and Lee Daniels and Oprah Winfrey all kind of run kind of tight. So that's a whole lot of your options right there is gone. All they need is Ryan Coogler, and then you can't get no work nowhere, So it makes sense that a black dude would be like, oh, he touched me, but what am I going to do? I got to work. I guess I got to, just deal with him. But a white dude, like, man, please. I've been working now. I got some stuff on my resume now. I'm white. I can go out here and pitch myself to somebody else. So he's probably confident, like, this ain't going to ruin my career. I'm white. Well, this is the story by Andrew Dalton, Associated Press. An actor who worked on the Tyler Perry-created TV drama The Oval has filed a lawsuit alleging Perry leveraged his industry power to repeatedly sexually assault and harass him while keeping him quiet. The lawsuit filed in Los Angeles Superior Court by actor Derek Dixon, who appeared on 85 episodes of the BET series, seeks at least $260 million in damages. This is a quote from the lawsuit. Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitive dynamic and with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault, and battery, and professional retaliation. The lawsuit was filed Friday and first reported by TMZ. Perry's attorney, Matthew Boyd, said the allegations are false. Quote, "This is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam," Boyd said in a statement Tuesday. "But Tyler will not be shaken down." That kind of sounds like something Tyler might like. "And we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail." The lawsuit says Perry first noticed Dixon in 2019 when Dixon was part of the event staff at a Perry party and later offered an audition. Tyler Perry have? Why does anybody can have parties? They didn't necessarily say freak-offs. He was at a party and, he was part of the event staff and Tyler Perry noticed him. Like, well, look at that white man. Offered him an audition. That could happen. Dixon would first appear in a small role on the Perry series Ruthless before getting the bigger role on the political drama The Oval. Perry began sending unwanted sexual text messages to Dixon, according to the lawsuit, which includes screenshots of several of them. If you got text message, but anybody could send a text message, and all you got to do, like, I could save your number in my phone as Tyler Perry, and then have you send me some stuff, saying some dirty stuff, and be like, Tyler Perry sent me this. Look, it don't mean it's necessarily Tyler Perry. He said he started sending him unwanted text messages, according to the lawsuit, which includes screenshots of several of them. One of the messages says, "What's it gonna take for you to have guiltless sex?" I hope it never happens. If I'm ever single again, I might use that one. I would be a dirty old man. Why not use that one? Hey, baby. Oh, that's not funny. But in my head, hey, baby. What's it gonna take for you to have guiltless sex? Believe it or not, I believe that would work. I'm telling you, I believe in 2025, if I'm 60 years old, texting some 55-year-old woman talking about, hey, baby, what's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? I believe that will work. I'm just telling you. The lawsuit says Perry offered Dixon an increasingly prominent role on the show as his sexual advances became more aggressive. The actor says he tried to remain friendly while maintaining boundaries. The lawsuit says Dixon did his best to tiptoe around Mr. Perry's sexual aggression while keeping on Mr. Perry's good side. That sounds reasonable. Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with the sexual innuendos, Dixon's character would die. And that just means I'm going to kill off your character, and if I kill off your character, you ain't got no job no more. And keep in mind, this is somebody who's a nobody. See how stuff like this. Hold on, let me be clear. I'm not saying Tyler Perry's guilty. I wasn't there. I don't know. He's presumed innocent until proven guilty. I'm just saying all of this sounds reasonable so far. It makes sense to me. I'm saying, say I'm some big shot. I'm a big shot. And I pick out a, quote, nobody and give them roles in my movies. They're nobody. I might not be able to do this to Halle Berry. I might not be able to do this to Regina King. But I could do this to Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Kanye Anderson. I could do this to her. Who is she? So when I try to push up on Regina King, she gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? I know this industry. You can't play me. But if I pluck you out of nothing, and then I'm this big and you're this, and I can tell you that I made you. Without me, you still be serving on the event staff. So it makes sense that he would be able to kind of get away with this. And then that this dude would be like, look, I don't want to make him mad. I don't want to do it to him. But I don't want to just flat out say no, because he gonna kill my character. I haven't really built up a resume yet that I can now go to Hollywood and say, I don't need you. Because right now, I need you. Remember, a lot of this stuff be power. It's about power. And you create the right power dynamic. And then there's a good chance you can get away with anything. So he said he tried to tiptoe around him. He didn't want to make him mad. He told him eventually, Perry said, you know, if you don't engage with these sexual innuendos, your character will die. The lawsuit says eventually, Tyler Perry sexually assaulted Dixon on multiple occasions, including an instance where he forcibly pulled off Mr. Dixon's clothing, groping his buttocks, and attempted to force himself on Dixon. I'm trying to imagine. Tyler Perry's kind of a big guy, ain't he? I don't know in terms of, hold on, let me see something. Come on. Let's see. No, I'm not talking about nobody from Gonzaga. I'm looking up Derek Dixon's height and weight, and they're giving me some basketball player from Gonzaga. No, the actor. Okay, here he is. Derek Dixon. Give me his height and weight. Height and weight. Come on, scroll. Personal details. They're not giving me his details. I don't know his height and weight. Is he a big guy? Is he a small guy? Well, don't say. But I can imagine, you know what I'm saying? You grabbing some little dude and he trying to pull away and you ripping off his clothes and you got him down. That's sexual assault, like he said. You try to force himself on him. Dixon says he clearly told Perry no, but was initially ignored until he was able to de-escalate the situation and change the subject. What? How you change the subject in the middle of a sexual assault? Like, no. Did you hear about the war in Israel? No. What do you mean? Yeah, Israel dropped some bombs at Iran. And really, tell me more. Yeah, and Trump is like, yeah, Iran, y'all need to surrender. And you're like, what, really? Hey, if it worked. He said he was able to change the subject, according to the lawsuit. The following day, Perry apologized and told Dixon he would work with Dixon on a TV pilot that Dixon was seeking to produce. Dixon later received a raise that the lawsuit suggests was part of an attempt to keep him quiet. I could see that. Like, I just tried to grape this dude. He might tell. Here, let me give you a raise. Okay, I'll take a raise. I can see that. He said the fear of his character dying kept him quiet, as intended. Perry also produced and bought the rights to the pilot called Losing It. But the lawsuit alleges Perry had no intention of selling the show and was using it only for leverage over Dixon. The lawsuit describes several other assaults, including one where Dixon was staying in a guest room of Perry's house when Perry climbed into bed with him, uninvited, and began groping him, the lawsuit alleges. Dixon would eventually move from Atlanta, home to Perry's studios, to Los Angeles to put distance between the two of them. Dixon, in 2024, filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. And when that didn't result in any action from the show's producers, he quit. Now, of course, the Associated Press goes on to say that they don't normally name people who've been sexually abused, but Dixon has already come forward. And they talk a little bit about Tyler Perry's success in the industry. That whole thing sounds like it could be true. Like there's no super fantastical details, at least in that write-up, that you listen to and you like, how? That don't even sound possible. All of this sounds possible, even plausible. Again, of course, Tyler Perry said, his people say, yeah, he didn't do nothing. Say this dude, this was a setup from the beginning. How? How? How was this a setup from the beginning? What dude was working in guest services and he was working so well because he knew if I serve this shrimp in the right way, Tyler Perry gonna offer me an audition. So he knew right from the beginning when he came into the Tyler Perry party, this was all a setup to get close to Tyler Perry, to accuse him of sexual assault. Why am I still holding the shrimp? To accuse him of sexual assault and get $260 million. That don't sound plausible to me. It's possible, but that does not sound plausible. Maybe they mean, okay, once Tyler Perry plucked him from obscurity and he realized he was in the presence of Tyler Perry, then he began to hatch a scheme to get so close to Tyler Perry and force him to send him sexually charged text messages. Then it would make sense. It doesn't make sense. If he's got the text messages from Tyler Perry asking him about sex. That really does kind of blow Tyler Perry's, I'm going to say, case out of the water. Brendan says, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? Nothing happened to it. I don't even understand why you're asking such a question. Brenda, why would you ask that question? Just curious. Why would you ask that question? I really am curious about that. Sometimes people say stuff and, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you'll kind of, at least for me, like I have a kind of knee-jerk reaction. You know what I'm saying? He say something, so what about this? What about that? You know what I'm saying? It's just an immediate response. But sometimes if you slow down and you say, why are you asking the question? Because maybe there's something out there that wasn't said or wasn't understood or, you know, something like that. So I'm asking why was the question asked? No, I really don't know. Because everybody know I said it like as clearly as I could. I think I actually even used those words. He's innocent until proven guilty. So I think I used those actual words, which is why I'm asking, why would you ask that question? Maybe she's asking it to somebody else. That's why I'm asking. I want to know. I don't want to just jump to a conclusion. Jericho says, because it sounds as if you believe the allegations. Well, again, I'm saying I was very open about the fact that I believe a lot of stuff that may or may not be true just because I believe it. Like, I don't believe that Fame's real name is Etzel. I just don't believe it. But that don't mean it's not. That just means I've made up in my mind what I believe, but I allow for the possibility that what I believe may not be true. And if presented with some evidence to discredit that, then I would openly, you know what I'm saying? He showed me his ID and it say Etzel. I'm like, okay, I didn't believe you. I believe you now. So just because I believe it doesn't mean he's not innocent until proven guilty. Belief does not equal guilt. Brenda answers. She says, I think it's a money grab. They never want justice. They're always asking for some damn money. Well, what else can you do? I mean, I guess he could file some sort of charges, but that seemed like a whole lot to go through when probably nothing's going to happen. If, you know what I'm saying, he was never, you know. So, and if according to, and of course you can always, they, not me, they can always check it out. They say he filed a complaint with the EEOC. Did he actually file a complaint with the EEOC? And then when that complaint went nowhere, he quit and then later on filed a lawsuit? That would lend credibility to his claim. Wouldn't you think? I mean, so yes, it's a money grab. Yes, when in our society, when you feel like there's not going to be any real justice, you couldn't get justice in the criminal system. You sue in the civil system. Once you make a lawsuit in the civil system, most times, man, it's kind of a money grab. In the sense that whatever relief you're asking for includes money. Now again, and I'll say it, for the Tyler Perry fans, he's innocent until being proven guilty. Now, I'm not talking about innocence or guilt in a court of law, because that innocence until proven guilty is in a court of law. It might be hard to understand, but the afternoon experiment is not a court of law. So in the afternoon experiment, he's whatever we say he is. That innocent until proven guilty is in a court of law. As much as I believe that it's possible and even plausible, if there was a criminal case and I was called to be on the jury, I could be impartial. Show me the evidence. I know what I believe. What can you prove? That's innocent until proven guilty. That's the only place where that really counts. Everywhere else, it's whatever you say. It's whatever you say. Al Rosser. Al Rosser says if he did it, then maybe he will have to pay. If not, then he won't. I really don't care personally. However, we know what TP has done for so many of our black actors that they would never have gotten in white Hollywood. I'm not understanding what you mean by that. I mean, I understand what you mean, but see, I'm one of these people, like, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to jump around just a little bit, but this should be easy to follow. When Bill Cosby was accused of what he was accused of what we now know he did, there were people who were like, yeah, but he gave money to black colleges. As if that makes it okay. Like, hey, if you give money to black colleges, you can rape bitches. Like, hey, yes. So I got $50 to go to a black college and show me a bitch. I'm a raper. Like, no. So and I'm hoping that, Al, this is not what you're saying. Like, okay, if he did that, then it's okay because he did give a lot of black actors opportunities that they wouldn't have gotten. No. See, I'm one of the rare people who believe your bad works can outdo your good deeds. Nino Brown, he's a fictional character. Nino Brown gave turkeys to people on Christmas or Thanksgiving, whichever one. Did that mean all the people who he killed? It's okay because he gave turkeys to people. No. I never understand and I'm asking, Al, if that's what you're suggesting. I'm not saying it is. I'm asking, and if it is, help me understand that mindset. Help me understand that mindset. Al says, I wasn't saying that, which is why I proceeded with the statement of, if he did it, then he will have to pay. Right, but then why bring up the other piece? That's what I'm at. Why even bring up the other piece in that context? I understood the first part. If he did it, he gonna have to pay. If he didn't do it, then hopefully he don't have to pay. But, man, he has done so much good. What does that have to do with anything? If he's out there raping people, like, I don't care how many people Bill Cosby put through college. That don't undo what he did. It don't make it okay. It don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it balances out. It doesn't. Monsters doing good deeds to cover up their monstrosity don't work with me. Al says, because we don't always do that with those outside of our community. I do. I agree with you. There are a lot of people who get into hero worship. I'm not saying you, Al. There are a lot of people who get into hero worship. I'm not one of those people. I don't understand those people. Like, I can appreciate something about you and not worship you. A lot of people can't. And I think that's where a lot of people get lost. Now, I don't know if Tyler Perry did what this guy's accusing Tyler Perry of doing. All I'm saying is, as I read through that story with those few accounts just from the lawsuit, and again, that's just one side of a story. Because here's another thing that some people don't seem to understand. People are multifaceted, right? And you take your favorite person and you're like, I'm trying to not use specific individuals, okay? I'm trying to not use specific individuals. But you say, hey, this is my favorite whatever. I like him. He's such a nice guy and blah, blah, blah. And I hear people say stuff like, oh, he's the nicest guy you ever want to meet. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He wouldn't this and he wouldn't that. I hear that all the time. I don't understand how people have that. If you're not with somebody 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for their entire life, you don't know how they treat everybody. And my experience with person A might be totally different than your experience with person A. So person A will give you the shirt off their back. But person A want to hurt me every time they see me. And you sitting there talking about, I can't believe anyone will have a problem with person A. He or she is such a nice person. They'll give you the shirt off their back. When I see person A come in the room, I'm running because I know person A about to come try to F me up. But you're not in the room when person A walk in the room with me. I don't understand how people don't understand that your relationship with someone is different than everybody else's relationship with that person. I don't get it. And, he's just a hater. He's just a hater. Or maybe his experience with that person is different than yours. And he's telling the truth about his experience with that person, and it's just not your truth. Hey, Mr. Cosby is the greatest guy. He paid for me to go to school. I didn't have to do anything. He paid for my books, my room, my tuition. He even got me a off-campus apartment, and all my expenses were paid for. He's the greatest guy. And there's some chick like, I went to his room to talk about a role, and next thing I know, I woke up naked. And he was standing over me, and I had semen on me. Both things can be true about the same person. I don't know why people don't. It boggles my mind for real why people don't understand that. So I'm saying all of that to say, to Al, I do it with everybody. Judge people just, based on the entirety of what I know about them. So if it's a white actor, director, whatever, and they do something bad, but they've been a pillar of the community, I'm still like, they're a bad person. They're a bad person. So yeah, I do it with everybody. And right, Al, same with Trump. I don't care. Oh, Trump, he pardoned black people. I don't care. He's a horrible human being. He's a horrible human being. I don't care how many black gangsters and criminals he pardoned. So that was why I was asking that question. That's why I was asking that question. Raven says, hi, I like your Flash shirt. Also, I think the longer you suppress your sexuality, the more prone you are to it being used against you or you using it to abuse others behind closed doors. I have no idea if Tyler Perry did what he's accused of, but I do believe he's not fully hetero and has been suppressing it, at least publicly, for quite some time. But yeah, all I'm doing is all I was doing. I'm almost done. All I was doing was, hold on. Let me see. Phones. Let me make sure I got the phones open. You can call in if you'd like to. 513-717-KING. That's 513-717-5464. I was just looking at the story and seeing if it's plausible. Now, of course, there are some things, you know what I'm saying, some responsibilities, I would say, that you have to, look at. Like if he has sexually assaulted you to the point of ripping your clothes off on at least one occasion, like literally tearing your clothes off, why did you go stay at his house? I don't, you know what I'm saying? I know it ain't right to ask that question because the victim is never, you know what I'm saying? The victim is never at fault, so to speak. But if you try to assault me, I'm not staying at your house. If you done tore my clothes off, trying to get it, I'm not staying at your house. And then you be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tear your clothes off and grab you out of booty and rub all up on your thighs and stuff, man. My bad, man. I don't know what I was thinking. You want to stay in the guest room? No, I don't want to stay in the guest room. No, that's the answer. No. You just tore my clothes off, bro. No. Why would I stay in the guest room? So some of it you like, I don't know. I see the phone ringing, but I'm not hearing it. Y'all hearing it, but I'm not hearing it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Like my speaker shut off. All right, sorry about that. CK.
Hey, man, how you doing, brother? Good, great show.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I was listening to your platform when you was talking about Tyler Perry.
Uh-huh.
And that recent allegations, man. Your statement you made about if you was assaulted like that, you said you would be out of there immediately.
Oh, no doubt.
I agree too, and it might be some. I think it would be violence also. I think it would be violence because, like you said, you're not. We're as men, we're not used to that type of being accosted like that. If you just over a guy's house and then he try you like that, I mean, it'd be so shocking. I could see violence being a part of that also.
Well, I mean, I think that was violence. If that happened the way he said it happened, it was violent and he lost. You know what I'm saying? Me and you get into a fight and you win. Then what you like, it's going to be violence. Like, no, it was violence. And, man, you lost.
Oh, you saying the victim lost the fight?
Yeah.
But he should have left. You said even if he lost the fight, why did he stay in this place?
Well, he said, according to that write-up, my understanding of it was Tyler Perry, he was horny that day, and he seen old boy, and old boy looked good to him, and he like, I'm gonna get that, and so he started tearing his clothes off, and they kind of fighting back and forth, because you know what I'm saying, if it's not cooperative if you got to tear my clothes off, so they fighting back and forth, and then he groping him and all that kind of stuff, and then dude changed the subject to de-escalate, and I don't know how that works, but he changed the subject to de-escalate. And that's how that thing stopped. So you ain't like, now it's all de-escalated. Now I'm going to knock your ass out. Like, no, bro, I got to get away.
You said, but Livingston, what made it? You said while he was getting the cops, he said, hold up, what about the war in Israel?
That's something.
How about them Bengals?
He said he changed the subject, and that was what de-escalated the situation. Like y'all was having a conversation through this. Like I don't understand that, but it could happen. I guess
that would be no. Okay, if it did happen, that would be the first time in the history of violence that the subject matter, because I don't think when violence is occurring, especially assault of that nature, there is no, get off me, it ain't no, you know what I mean? It ain't no convo. It's like grunts and get off me, stop, help. You see what I'm saying? It's not conversation, right? Or you think it is conversation during assault?
Luckily, I've never been sexually assaulted. Thank God. And so I don't know if there is a sexual assault standard, you know. So I don't know. Maybe they were having conversations and Tyler was telling him what he wanted to do. And, you know, he was kind of rebutting him like, you don't really want to do that, Tyler. You know, and Tyler like, oh, yeah, I want to do this to you. And he like, no, you don't want to do that, Tyler. Oh, yeah, I want to do this to you. And he like, well, you know, the Braves is playing tonight. Don't you want to check out the game? Like, I do like baseball. So I don't know how that works, but.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Like if say you rob me, you got a gun in my head, say, give me all your money. And I say, Livingston, think about your grandkids. And then you start thinking about the grandkids and you put the gun down. I changed the subject and got up out of there then.
Maybe. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know how that works. I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen. That is confusing to me. But again, having not been sexually assaulted or in a situation even close to that, I'm not here to judge and say that it did or it didn't happen. I don't know. But it does seem plausible, yet somewhat confusing.
Yeah, if it did not happen, it is a great allegation, great lie on the behalf of the victim. See, you need to accuse wealthy people of things they cannot disprove so you could get a settlement.
Well,
so even if it's not true, you want to press them and make it look so bad where let me just pay this guy.
Well, but I think, okay, Mr. Perry might not be able to disprove it, but
okay,
I think there are, if I'm understanding this article, there are certain things that Mr. Perry can disprove if they're not true. Like if Mr. Perry never sent him a text message like, what's it going to take for you to have some guiltless sex with me or whatever the verbiage was. If Mr. Perry never sent that, Mr. Perry should be able to prove forensically that, you know, hey, that message never came from me. That it was never something that was sent. And if he did, then he got a problem because it's like, so why was you sending this dude messages about having guilt-free sex?
I got you. So I remember you said you wanted to be a juror, and when you hear the term beyond a shadow of a doubt, do you look at that as like you need to prove 100% guilt beyond a shadow of a doubt? How do you take that term in?
Well, the term is not beyond the shadow of a doubt. It's, beyond a reasonable doubt.
Reasonable doubt. Oh, that's different. You're right.
Yeah, it's different. Right. It's not beyond the shadow of a doubt. Beyond the shadow of a doubt mean you got to prove it. Like,
you got 100%. That's 100%. Okay. So
reasonable doubt is different. And I don't know exactly. I think it's one of those things where you have to be in it and you have to have, like, it's not reasonable doubt to be like, well, maybe an alien came and did it. That's not a reasonable doubt. Because what are the chances of an alien taking over your body and then doing, So that's not a reasonable doubt. But something that you can a reasonable person could look at and say, I still have some reasonable doubt. It is very possible that this happened. It's very possible that didn't happen. That makes sense to me. Because you don't want to convict people of things that they didn't do. They used to tell me when I was taking some of my little law classes, I never went to law school, but I did take some criminal justice and all that stuff, in college. And they used to tell us, one of the things that they used to say is, hey, we'd rather see a lot of guilty people go free than to see one innocent person in jail. Now, I don't believe that the system functions under that premise. If it ever
Do
did,
you believe
I
in
don't
that
believe
premise?
it. Huh?
Do you believe in that premise?
I believe in that premise, yes.
Okay.
But I don't believe the
Okay.
system believes in that premise.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Well, because I'm just trying to figure out, because with this Tyler Perry situation, it's very difficult because, like you said, it looks like he's gay. He does look gay. But for nobody never to come out, not even an ex, a bitter ex, what is he paying them off? I mean, how does nobody come out and say, yeah, I slept with this man if he's really gay and he has that kind of status?
Oh, I think it's very possible. How many people did you hear come out and say they had sex with Luther Vandross?
Facts.
I think people tend to keep their personal lives private, whether it's straight or gay. Like, for real, if I'm messing with Halle Berry, no. If I'm messing with Regina King, and Regina King say, look, E-Man, I want to just keep this between me and you. Can't nobody else know about this. We gonna have a full-blown relationship. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna stay at your house and I'm gonna stay at my house. And, you know, when the time come, I'm gonna send for you. You come over. You know what I'm saying? You dress up like the help and you come over and, you know what I'm saying, you touch me up, whatever. And we can do whatever. But don't you ever tell anybody about this. You think I'm telling?
Right.
That's just between me and Regina.
You right. But I think what makes you tell is when it stops. Right? The bitterness is when it stops. Like you in love with her and she just cuts you off and go back to her husband.
No,
then you're bitter.
I feel
and
like
you want to spill the beans.
well, first, Regina ain't married. But second, I feel like what Regina would do is Regina would be wise. And Regina would say, look, E, man, this ain't working no more. I'm not in love with you anymore. Let's just part on good terms. And I would be like, you know what, Regina, I feel you. If you ain't feeling it no more, that's cool. Just make love to me one more time, and then I'm going to go on about my business and, live the rest of my life. And we can still be cool. You can reach out to me anytime you want to, and we'll still be friends and everything. And I would never tell anybody.
Yeah. And you make a great point because, like you said, Luther Vandross, the specimen you used as your example, he's a great example because it's the way he carried himself is the way the world treated him. Like you said, he wasn't out here running his mouth. So they did, like you said, they didn't trash him, did they?
No.
In your opinion?
No, I don't think they did.
Yeah, they treated him with respect the way he treated the public. He was a respectable celebrity, in my opinion.
He seemed to be, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but great show, man. Hey, man, thank you for taking my call, man. A great conversation, man. Keep on doing God's work, sir.
CK, I appreciate your participation.
Thank you.
All right, that was CK. 513-717-KING, 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. I think the big thing about stories like this, it's not the whole Tyler Perry and, the salaciousness of it. I mean, that's interesting to talk about. But people really need to understand power dynamics. I don't think that people understand the whole thing about the power dynamic of a situation like that. Whether this happened or not, there's always some sort of power dynamic at play. Well, we'll talk about it. Twin.
What's up, fam?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
What's on your
you
mind?
ain't gonna let so you wanna let that lady rip your shirt off?
What lady?
I'm just saying you was, setting an example and everything. You're like, no, I'm gone.
No, we was talking about a man.
Oh shit, oh no. Fuck that. No. I'm cool. I thought you said a lady.
What?
No, I was walking my son, man. I thought you said a lady or something.
Did you say you was walking your son?
Yeah.
I never heard that before. I never heard it put that way before.
No, I was in a stroller walking to the store. get him some snacks and everything.
May I suggest, and it's just a suggestion, you can take it or leave it, that from now on, instead of saying
Mr.
I was
Correction
walking,
Officer.
instead of saying I was walking my son, say I was taking a walk with my son.
I'm saying he ain't taking a walk. He's in a stroller.
Right, but you
So what
taking a walk and he's with you.
He's in a stroller though.
Right. Okay, look, you don't have to take that advice. It just felt like walking my dog. You know what I'm saying? You put the dog on a leash, and the goal is to get the dog out so the dog can walk and use the bathroom and stuff. And when it's with your child, you're taking a walk with your child.
But he's not walking though.
Okay, I didn't
He's
say
in a
nothing.
stroller.
I didn't say nothing. What's on your mind?
Mr. Correction Officer.
What's on your mind? You're right.
Not too much, man. Everything. Hope it don't rain, but it seems like you brought bad luck with that shirt you got on. Like it's about to tub out here or something.
What?
But yeah, I'm just messing with you, man. I say you brought bad luck with that shirt you got on. Ain't that a lightning bolt shirt you got on?
It is a lightning bolt. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't understand the connection. Yeah, it's a lightning bolt. The Flash. He runs fast like lightning.
But you trying to correct me though.
Well, no, he runs fast like lightning. Like the shirt ain't being hit by lightning. I guess he did get hit by lightning. So okay. I'm wrong
created
twice.
that shirt?
I did not create the shirt. No,
Oh,
I could create the shirt, but I didn't.
I thought it was one of your works you put down or something like that.
No, sir.
Yeah, man. I don't too much, man. Most of his movies, though, man, would be like drama, man. Pain and suffering and all. He don't come out with like no gangster movies or something like that. And it's just like Wyatt said earlier about that Mary J stuff. Why she so much drama in her life and all that. I don't know. I want to keep hearing that over and over and over again and all that.
Well,
man.
apparently somebody want to hear it over and over again because that dude making a lot of money putting that same crap out, and the same people go see the same movie over and over and over again.
Well, I don't too much, look at his movies and stuff. Watch his movies like that though. 'Cause at first, I liked it when he first came out, when he had his, his plays at the theater.
You liked when he was dressed up as a lady?
No, it was funny.
Yeah, when he was dressed up as a lady.
Yeah, you can say all that, but it was funny though. And then I'm like, man, he can't come out, and then he put it in a movie scene and everything or whatever. And I'm like,
can I ask you a question? May I ask you a question? What did you like about Madea?
Man, it's just an old grandma and everything, but after he brought it to the scene, because I've seen like
no. But I get it. But what did you? I understand what Madea is. But I'm asking, what
funny
did? Why? In what way? Like for real, I'm trying to understand. I never liked it, Madea. So help me understand.
Man,
what
I like her and what's that? Her brother Joe.
I don't know.
One of her seen Madea movie Joe. I like them going at it and everything. When Keke Palmer played in that one movie, I forgot the name of it, but that was the only movie I really liked when he played in there as a Madea. It was funny to me. Other than that, I had stopped watching. Like, why did I get married? And then why did I get married too? And he can't come up with some crazy. Now the Oval Office and all that's good, but that Madea and all that crazy. Nah, I'm cool with that. I had stopped watching because seemed like it was basically the same stuff.
Okay.
But other than that, not too much, And then it's like a Me Too movement now. I don't know if dude want to check or the white folks after him or something. Allegations against him, and you texting a man.
But wait a minute, But if a man tries to sexually assault you and hold your career hostage, what are you supposed to do?
Shit, he doing what everybody else do. Coming up, he need a come up.
But you're saying
that's
it like,
all they do.
But you're saying it like the lawsuit is bad in some way, shape, or form. And I'm trying.
No, it ain't bad because everybody jumping aboard. Hey, I'm broke out here. Hey, this is quickest way to get, come up. Hey, file a lawsuit. Hey, you come up easy. Hey, Cassie, she's an example. The other girls that went out, R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, hey, they're all example. Me Too ass movement. It's a quick come up. And then especially, I look at it like this, man. When those white folks want you, man, they want you up and through. And you can never be a billionaire. You can't reach that status to them. But, it's a handful of us as billionaires and everything. But other than that, if they want you up and through, man, they've been mad at him since he built that studio on a Confederate flag army base. So they've been there tried to bomb it, 3 or 4 times, Emanuel? So they really mad. Yeah, they bombed it. I mean, set it on fire like 3 or 4 times, I believe.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. But again, I don't follow Tyler Perry news necessarily.
Yeah, the studio in Atlanta. Yeah.
Who bombed it?
He said somebody set it on, not bombed, but set it on fire like 2 or 3 times.
Really?
Yeah. So, they've been mad at him because he told Hollywood he would never do no business because he tried to bring his play to Hollywood. They say, nah, we don't want that. I said, okay. So, we got enough money, built that studio, made money off Madea, whatever, and,
Well, no, he was doing the Madea movies long before he built that studio. That's just not true.
I say he got the money off of it. Madea plays and all that. Built his empire up, and he bought that army base.
Right, but I'm saying, no, but you said they wouldn't let him take his movies to Hollywood, so he tried
to bring his play, Madea play to Hollywood.
But he did. He made a lot of Madea movies before he built that studio.
I'm saying he tried to bring it to Hollywood.
That's what he
Madea,
yeah.
When he first,
Yeah, he did.
You don't understand it, really, man.
Well, help me understand.
No, at first he wouldn't give him if you go back to, but you're not gonna go back and read about his biography or his history on. I know, because you will understand. He came to Hollywood with this,
right?
With everything, and then they didn't want to accept it.
Okay, but
he went off his independent way.
Okay,
so he came along. I'll do it myself. Y'all want to accept this? Here come Tyler Perry studio, Tyler Perry production. That's how he built his empire off of. Okay. And now they're accepting him and after Madea had shut down, he went into some Hollywood action movie. For the first time, he had that little baby fro or something like that, as a cop or something. Then he went into the Hollywood. Then he blew up after that some more. So yeah, man. But I don't, man. Dude on the down low, man. To be honest, to me, he on the down low, man. These text messages and all that, regardless if he got something against it or if he don't. I mean, the text message go prove it all. And, show me some pictures. Show me more than just this text. So I can put in somebody else's name or something like that. But
I mean, there would be a record.
Man, man, he white.
Hold on,
he right.
I don't get to have get a sentence in. There would be a record. Like if I gave you my number and put you in as Tyler Perry and told you to send me some nasty text messages, when I go to court, they'll be able to look at that and be like, that ain't Tyler Perry's damn number. That's Twin. You know what I'm saying? They would be able to tell that pretty quickly.
I don't know, burner phones. I don't know, man. But hey, he white. He white, and they consider him right. So, they gonna choose that white boy over you. So, man, he should have just let it go. If you want, man, I don't know, Tyler. You should have. I don't know. Plenty of black women out there. You got them on your team. Why you ain't talk to them and tell them come on the yacht or something? Text them. But you want some Pink Panther boy coochie or something? I don't know. So to each his own, and that's on him. So it is what it is, man.
Okay, I don't know that you understand how any of this works. But okay,
you said what? I can't hear you, Daniel. What you say?
Nothing.
What I say bad? I said something wrong.
No, I just said I don't know that you understand how any of this stuff works.
Man, I understand, but man, they coming out the woodwork, man. I'm telling you, man. One day they cool. Next day, well, in 1977, she raped me in high school. What?
But couldn't the message here maybe the message is not, hey, if you get so much money and you black, they gonna come and get you. Maybe the message is, hey, live an honorable life and don't give them any ammunition to use
It ain't
against
like that
you.
no more. It ain't like that no more.
What do you mean?
It ain't like that live a normal life, man. Man. Say if you weren't married, you out
right.
there in Hollywood and all that.
Okay.
They go come get a little Emanuel.
They what?
You hot too? They go come get a little Emanuel. You hot too? And you got to jump the industry jump. Man, them girls go come. You got. It's hard to resist.
And I'm not. But here's the thing. All I gotta do is not do anything wrong.
You try. I mean, yeah, that's true.
Right.
But if I'm living, a party life and everything else, hey, shit, this won't come with the territory.
No,
shit,
see,
that's twin fault.
That's just it. Don't resign yourself to having to do wrong.
I understand. It's your choices that you make, man, and it's who you around. It's up to you. Can't nobody push that damn button. It's
right.
your choice.
So that's why
if
I'm
you want
saying
to go over
the
that house or
message
something,
instead
or if you want to go to get baby oil or something.
So instead of the message being, hey, if you come up, they gonna come and get you. They not gonna let you get that big. You're black. They gonna take you down. The message just should be, and really, it's one of the things my mom used to tell me, when you can't do what everybody else can do. So once you get at a certain level, in a certain position, really even up to then, but especially once you get to a certain level, you gotta hold yourself to a much higher standard than everybody else is being held to. And that's the message that all of these celebrities and really everybody should be listening to. Like, I know I got wants, needs, blah, 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 but I got too much to lose to be playing these games. I got too much to lose to be trying to get some, as you called it, boy coochie. I got too much to lose to be drugging women and having sex with them. I got too much to lose to be having freak offs and, forcing people to do stuff that they don't want to do. I got too much to lose to be holding little girls hostage in my house and in my studio and all that kind of stuff. I got way too much to lose. So let me not do that.
Good. It sounds good, but I'm saying that temptation, boy, that's hard to resist sometimes.
It's not.
Man.
It's not. And even
you're not
if
in that boat. You're not in that boat. And there's plenty of times,
right,
man, I want to settle down and do this and do right, but damn, man, I want that real bad. I need her tonight. I'm like, man, I can't do it.
All right. Man. So then if you give in to the temptation, right?
I gave in, and then after that, right, I felt so bad. I'm like,
my name's not White.
Man, man, I'm like, man, cheat on my girl for this. Man, I'm like, I ain't never doing this no more.
But then, once your girl find out, you can't be mad at your girl like, you always trying to take me down. No, you made bad decisions. Stop blaming the consequences of your decisions on everything else except you.
That's true. That's true. But I'm saying, once you get up there, sometimes these Yankees, man, be trying to set these brothers up. I don't care, man.
How could this have possibly been a setup?
I'm saying, like, you're a superstar and all that basketball. Some of them, I think they be just pushing them white girls in the room with them brothers, man, because they know they do go. And then once you, like Diddy's situation, man, what he in there really for? For some coochie, man. That's it. And having a freak off, that's it.
No,
he ain't throw a bitch across the balcony and strangle her to death or nothing. I mean, he slapped her or kicked her, but one person, man, you see.
How do you just dismiss that?
Only evidence we saw enough.
Okay, he slapped a hoe and kicked her, but that ain't that big of a. That's a big deal.
Emmanuel, only thing we saw is one person getting their head smacked off. We ain't see nobody else though, right?
That's one too many.
Okay, Emmanuel, one too many. Okay, man, what's that domestic? 2 to 3 years or whatever anger management class in the real world? domestic class or 2 to 3 years or something like that. Smacking somebody.
Look, if you have blown up people's cars and held people hostage for, force people to do things that they didn't want to do and all of that kind of stuff, you can't just look at that and dismiss it as, that ain't nothing but a little small case of domestic
So you
violence.
believe Cosby put them Jello drugs up in there too?
Yes.
You believe he drugged them?
Yes, he said he drugged them.
Oh. I know I got to go back because I really didn't, because I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I think it'd be
that's
all
how he got off. Hold on, let me, just so you know, the reason that he's not in jail right now, or maybe not right now, but the reason he got out of jail early is because he had agreed to, there was a lawsuit, and he had agreed to do this deposition in a lawsuit. And in exchange for him answering these questions honestly or whatever in this lawsuit, they had agreed to not prosecute him. And in this deposition, he was asked about drugging women, and he admitted in that deposition that, yes, he drugged women.
Did he do some time for that?
For what?
He did, a couple of months, didn't he?
I think he was in there for a few years, but he got off on a technicality. But he admitted to drugging women for sex. That was his plea deal before he went in, or after he came out, something like that. Yes, before he went in. Yes.
Oh, okay. But anyway, they've been trying to get him for a long time since he wanted to buy up NBC, and they ain't let him drill on his house.
That's got nothing.
Underneath it.
It's got nothing to do with him trying to buy NBC. He had been drugging women for years before that, and then he didn't end up in jail until many years after that. What?
Them ugly women looking like Eartha Kitt or somebody. Man, you see them women?
Hold on, did you not just hear me tell you he admitted to doing it?
I understand what you're saying. I believe. But, man, from the pictures and looks, I'm like, my God. Them some other drugs he was doing, giving them a song, the way they look. I say, ain't no way he did her like that. No, I don't believe he touched that one.
All you gotta do is, hold on, go back and look at pictures of them people when they were young.
Man, they still was pop. What are you talking about? I looked at them. Some of them was still pop.
All right.
I'm like, man, but
I don't know what word you're saying. They were still what?
Pop, man. Ugly.
Well, no, but what's the word you're saying? Are you saying pop?
No, pop. P-O-P.
They were popped.
Yes.
I never heard that before.
You heard it before. Stop lying.
You
heard them say, man, she popped, man.
Yeah, no, I never heard that. That's a Chicago thing, a Chicago
no,
gangbanger
it ain't.
thing.
Stop playing. That's everywhere, man.
No, it's not. We never said that. We never said that. We said she smacked. We said she was through. We said she was, I can't remember all of the stuff that we said, but we never said pop.
What else?
Yeah, no, we never said pop. I was just asking. How you gonna tell me I done heard something that I ain't never heard? I was just asking a question.
You's a radio guy. I'm pretty sure you heard it. You's a radio guy. You've been around the world.
This is the first time I've ever heard
the city
it.
Or whatever.
Okay, popped. I never heard it before. I've heard it now.
Why you gotta be difficult, man?
You being difficult. I just asked you what you said, and then you heard it before.
You gotta be extra, man.
That's some Chicago gangster stuff.
No, man. No.
That's something that Al Capone was saying that y'all picked up.
I wasn't even born when Al Capone was around.
Y'all picked it up and just kept it going.
All right, sir. You have a good day, man.
All
Chop
right.
it up tomorrow. You're on tomorrow, June 10th, right?
What's tomorrow?
June 10th.
Thursday. I don't think I am on tomorrow.
It's a federal holiday.
I have a Juneteenth event that I'm going to.
So you're going to the federal law, huh?
Going to what?
I say you're on the federal law guidelines, huh? You don't come on?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Have a good day. I'll chop it up with you Friday, Lord's will. All right, man.
All right.
All right, man.
All right. That was Twin. That was a difficult conversation. I just asked him, man, what did he say? Oh. Power dynamics. See, that's what I'm talking about. There are, power dynamics is a real thing. If I have authority over you, that's why at a lot of companies, they frown on and or it's against the rules for a manager to be involved in and you have a romantic involvement with people under him, his subordinates. And, even if you're not in his, directly under him, but you're not on the same level in terms of, they had him little, management. I call them trees. What do they call them? Y'all know what I'm talking about, where you got this level and these are upper management, and these people are below them and these people, so on and so forth. In a lot of companies, if you're up here, you're not allowed to have a relationship with somebody down here. Even if you're up here on this side and they're down here on this side, you can't have a relationship with them. Because, and I'm explaining this to people like y'all don't understand it, but there are clearly some people who don't understand it. You have a certain level of power and authority that you could manipulate them with. You could use your authority. Thank you, organizational chart. Thank you, Anthony. You could use your position to manipulate that person. Companies understand that that's a real thing. It's a real thing. Do you want to work some overtime? I can get you a raise. I can fire you. I can make life difficult for you. I don't know why I'm looking over here when I say it, because there's nobody there. But in my mind, she the one who I'm trying to get to. And I don't know why I'm moving my head like this. I don't think that they actually move their head like this when they say this stuff. But, I know of situations like that happened at Radio 1. Radio 1. Well, you ain't making, I told y'all how much money people was making. Like $10 an hour. People are manipulating people who are making $10 an hour. They're not manipulating them necessarily for the money. They're manipulating, I don't know why I'm whispering either. They're manipulating them because they know they're doing something that they love. And that's one thing that people are really good, predators, I call them predators. Predators are really good at scoping out the weaknesses in their prey. And, where we all look at it and we're like, could nobody ever hold nothing over my head. I feel like I'm one of those people. You can't, please, try me. You know what I'm saying? Emanuel, you know what I'm saying? If you don't do what I want you to do, then I'll fire you. Fire me then? You know what I'm saying? What? Emanuel, if you don't let me rub your booty, then I'm not going to let you go on the air. I'm not going on the air then, because you ain't touching nothing. Matter of fact, I need to go have a conversation with HR. Oh, I can make your life real miserable if you go have a conversation with HR. Then my life about to be miserable. It's easy for me to say that because of who I am. But that's probably the reason that nobody ever tried that stuff. Because predators are really good at figuring out the weakness of their prey. I mean, in the wild, you watch when them lions is hunting and they all duck down and they surrounding and they done already made up their mind. We need to look, find the smallest one, find the one that's sick, find the one that's injured. They looking at all the gazelle or whatever they hunting. Find it. Ooh, see that one right there? They give each other the eye. Like him right there. Look, he limping. That nigga got a limp. Tell everybody he got a limp. He got a limp. He got a limp. He got a limp. Everybody know that's who we go after. Find the one with a weakness. And then we gonna exploit that weakness. That's what predators do. So no, it wouldn't work on you. Maybe. I don't know you. I don't know your weaknesses. It might not work on you. but it's somebody with a weakness. And that predator done watched them. Like, ooh, they really love this job. Ooh, and they don't have family support. And they done got close to you. They talking to you. And you think they there to help you. And they like, it's just me. I'm on my own. I done fought and I done struggled and I done did everything I could to get to this point. And I'm just so happy to be here. This is all I've ever wanted to do. I know it ain't nothing but $10 an hour, but I've dreamed of this since the first time I heard somebody on the radio. But it's just me and I got my 2 kids. And somehow I'm scratching to get by on $10 an hour because I believe that this is going, you know what I'm saying? I can make something out of this and I'm going to do this and blah, blah, blah. And they asking you, you know what I'm saying? Well, where's your family? You ain't got no support. And you think they trying to help you. They just trying to get more information so that they can figure out, can I take advantage of this person? And you opening up to them because you gave me this opportunity. So you want to help me. You one of the good people. And you like, no, I don't know my daddy. And, me and my mom don't get along and she refused it. I got pregnant when I was a teenager. So, so she put me out when I was 16. And so it's really just me. My baby daddies, they don't do nothing. And, so I made some bad decisions and blah, blah, blah. And you tell them your whole life story. And now they know they got you. They got you. And all they got to do is threaten you with all you got. If you let me do this, I can get you more hours. You know what I'm saying? I can get you a better air shift. If you don't let me do this, I'm going to have to cut your air shift. What? You can't cut my air shift. This is how I take care of my kids. And this is what I love to do. You know that. Yeah, I know. If you go and you tell, it's going to create this whole situation. You look at, see, they complained about a manager and you see they got fired. You don't want to do that. It ain't going to work on everybody, but they take time to get to know they prey so that it'll work on them. That's kind of what I heard. And when I was reading that Tyler Perry thing, like, what? You picked this person out of obscurity, working at an event, whatever. So this is, and I'm not trying to diminish people, but maybe this is a server, a dishwasher, or, something like that. And you pull them out and you put them in a movie. What? You are their savior now. You're their savior. And then you put them in a TV series. You build them up, and all you ask in return is really nothing for probably a long time. You even tell them, like, hey, check it out. You say you got a screenplay? I help you produce that screenplay. I'm Tyler Perry. I got a whole studio, bro. I can do that. That ain't no thing. It ain't no thing, for real. It ain't. Let me see the screenplay. Matter, look, I'm about to buy the rights to the screenplay. That's going to put money in your pocket. So now you got a screenplay that I own. All we got to do is produce this bad boy. And I'm going to put you in this TV series that's on BET. And you're like, for real? Now I'm an actor. I'm a real life actor. Can you just imagine, just a couple years ago, I was serving shrimp at parties? Now I got a screenplay about to be produced by Tyler Perry that he paid me for. I'm starring in a TV series on BET. Now let me rub on your booty. Huh? What? Let you what? No, you can't rub on my booty. Your character can die next week. Oh, that mean I'm going to be back serving shrimp? I want to say no. If I say no too hard, my character going to die. No, I don't feel good. I got to go home. Let me just avoid this dude, I'm just saying it's all plausible. And it's that whole power dynamic. You just have to be aware of that stuff. Just be aware. And I try to use a radio station or something like that, because it happens not just on this big level. It happens on really small levels too. That y'all be thinking because y'all like to. I wasn't Al said the scenarios you come up with are hilarious. You be cracking your version of jokes and it's funny. No, I'm telling you, for real. There was a young lady who worked at Radio 1 who, and I'm saying one, there were multiple. Like, this ain't a one-time thing that happened to my knowledge at Radio 1. I know of 3 supervisors at Radio 1. Program director. I want to say he was an operations manager. And I want to say he was like a general manager. I know of 3 people at Radio 1 who weren't in super high positions, but who all lost their jobs trying to Actually, I know of 4. I just thought of another one. I know of 4 people. Then this is just real quick off the top of my head. I could even say their names. I won't. But I know of 4 people who found themselves in horrible positions. Now I'm talking about the victims who found themselves in horrible positions with their jobs on the line, being put in compromised positions and didn't know what to do. And when you don't feel it until you walk into somebody's office and you tell how distraught they look. And you're like, something is wrong. And you close that door behind you. And you got to pry it out of them. Something is wrong. What's going on? No, something is wrong. What's going on? And then you pick up your phone and you call one of their female friends. Come into so-and-so's office. No, I don't want to talk about it. Oh, no, you're going to talk about it. Because something is wrong. And then now you got basically what do they call it? Intervention in somebody's office. And everybody eventually it come out and everybody you got to tell. You got to tell. I don't want to tell. I don't want to be, it's going to be this big deal. And I don't want to tell. And everybody no, you got to tell. If you don't tell, I'm going to tell. I never said that just because I'm not one of those people. But, women have that camaraderie. If you don't tell, I'm going to tell. No, he can't be doing this to you. Once you've experienced that firsthand, you because there really is a part of you just tell. Why are you even going through this? How do you let somebody put you in this position? You just tell. But it ain't that easy, I learned. It's not that easy. Timothy said, what is it, some kind of zoo around there? It's a workplace. It didn't just happen in radio. It happened when I worked at that factory too. Again, I could mention a name. Now, it only happened once to my knowledge at the factory. But in a factory setting where there's union rules, I found out as a union rep, when there are union rules, and you're like, I don't get overtime, I didn't get overtime. But there's a rule. You're supposed to get overtime. But he said if I don't, then he won't give me any overtime. That's not the way the rules work. Now, we got rules. This is simple to handle. And you need to tell somebody. I'm not making any of this up. These are real for real, I could say, I'm really tempted to say names, but it ain't my role to, tell nobody business like that. But this is real stuff. This is real stuff that happens. That's why HRs come up with policies and stuff like that. That's why they come in and have I'm gonna call them workshops. I don't think they call them workshops. Training sessions on sexual harassment and all of that kind of stuff. They're not doing that for fun. They doing it because that stuff is happening. So we looking at Tyler Perry like, oh, it's all about the money. Oh, it's all about the money. Like, it might be. I don't know if Tyler Perry did what he's accused of doing, what he's been accused of doing. But this stuff is real. And I'm telling you, again, from my experience, now I only had that particular experience, me coming in, seeing something is wrong. And I like this little girl. I call her a little girl because she was younger than me, but she was a young lady. I like this little girl. And so I closed the door because I have a good relationship with her and I can see that something is wrong. She's shaking, like literally shaking. But I mean, she's shaking after just coming from another person's office. And I go in and close the door and begin to have a conversation with her. And I'm telling you, when you see it firsthand and you meet first, they want to tell you they fine, didn't nothing happen. Okay, something happened, but it ain't no big deal. They can handle it. And then, it's been happening for a while, but they all right. They don't want to cause no problems and all of that kind of stuff happening right there in your face, and it's somebody that you care about, you begin to take the stuff a little more serious. And again, it's me. So I'm like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? You tell me what happened, we gonna handle it. Not, we ain't got no bats or sticks or nothing like that. We're not gonna handle it that way. My mind is we're going to go to HR. We're going to get it taken care of right now. No. Because nobody want to cause problems. And you think about it, because people look at people who do stuff like that as problems. So then once you tell, because even if you tell and you get what you think is the best scenario, oh, he's fired. He's fired. No, we don't put up with this as a company. That person is out of here. And we want to make it right to you. So, we're going to give you a settlement if you want it. And, so on and so forth. We're going to make it right. Guess what? There's a whole rest of the company sitting there looking at you because there are people who liked him. Oh, she got my friend fired. I ain't working with her. She the one who gonna make up a story about me doing something to her. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be fired because she gonna say, I told her that if she didn't do this. So there's pushback from other people. People be like, well, why didn't they tell? Why did they wait so long to come forward? Because if you come forward, everybody ain't gonna be supportive. Like, oh, girl, you so strong. Some people gonna be like, that bitch knew what she was doing the whole time. She was just manipulating her way to the top. And who want to deal with that? Now that the predator is gone, now you got to deal with everybody else making you feel like you did something wrong for protecting yourself. That's real. It's real. I've seen it with my own eyes. And it's infuriating. It's infuriating. Because now what you going to do, you know what I'm saying, when you come in and she in her office looking all sad, well, you know it ain't that. What is it? So-and-so said something. And it's easy. Who cares what somebody said? But That stuff weigh on people. That stuff weigh on people. Every time you got something to say or whatever, somebody talking about, you got someone so fired, you knew what you was doing. Now what, you gonna go to HR? They're harassing me. And now this B is whining about harassment now. Oh, now you trying to get me fired for harassment. You got him fired because you said he did something. Now you gonna get everybody fired? Who wants to work in an environment like that? So for a lot of times, it's just easier to be like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just want people to understand it. That's what I use, when I see stories like this. Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Tyler Perry because I don't care for his stuff, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the salaciousness of the whole thing. Tyler Perry rubbing people booty, getting in the bed with them, spooning them and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm saying I can, because I've gotten in the bed with women. You slip up behind them and you start rubbing and such. It was always welcome. But you know what I'm saying? I've done that. I could imagine some dude, me in the bed, trying to get some sleep, and some dude come up behind me. Hey, what you doing? So yeah, I'm talking about all of that stuff too. But overall, I really want people the people who, when they see these stories, say stuff like, "Oh, so what? He smacked the whole round once or twice." What? Well, why didn't they say something earlier? What? It's a money grab. What? I want y'all to understand that this stuff is real. And just because you don't feel like you're susceptible to it, and you may not be, we all know that there's some people who, I don't want to say stronger, but, they're different. Because I'm not stronger than, somebody else who my situation just ain't their situation. The way that I react to things ain't the way they react to things. The way they react don't make them weak. It just make them different. I don't know how they was raised, and because that stuff matter too. If you was raised in a household where you had a voice, you might think you got a voice. If you was raised in a household where you don't question me, or you can't say, "Mama, I don't like this," or "Mama gonna smack you in the mouth and you better eat it," then you might not be, one to speak up at the office like, "Yeah, I don't think this is right." So I want people to stop looking down on victims like they weak. They're not weak. They're different, and they've been exploited. And I'm talking victims, like real victims. Because there are some people who make stuff up. That's a problem. But real victims, they've been exploited. Somebody peeped out what they perceived as a weakness and used it. And now you saying bad stuff about them. Couldn't be me. It wasn't you. But it don't make them, bad. Janet says, I was a union officer / rep for 26 years. I protected my membership. If administration and the union both sign an agreement, then both are going to abide by it. There are many people afraid to even use the contract. Oh, that is so true. Oh, that's so true. I'm going to finish your thing. I'm about to tell another story. She said, I was not one of those. I had CPS retaliate against me for supporting my members because they lost. And also had to file an unfair labor practice against my own union. The rules are the rules. Right. Right. And sometimes you just, you know what I'm saying, you got to go hard. And people do push back. Even when there's a contract in place. Even when there's a contract in place and people be scared. And you be like, what are you scared of? They're violating the contract. That's what the contract is for. And that's what I'm here for, to make sure, as your shop steward, I'm here to make sure that they don't violate your rights under the contract. That's why I'm here. I don't want anybody mad at me. I don't care about nobody being mad. I care about you getting your money. I care about you being safe. I care about, you know what I'm saying, protecting your seniority. They can be mad all day. This is business. All right. What else going on? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like really go that hard on it. I'm kind of passionate about it. Honestly, I think I'm a little more passionate about it, having dealt with that having had that, and I don't want to say it's a firsthand experience. I guess that secondhand experience with a friend who went through it and watching everything that she went through the whole process, because we kind of got close, not, sexually close. We never, none of that. But we kind of got close, and she was comfortable sharing stuff with me along the way and asking for my advice. And just to hear some of the stuff, even though she did the right thing, and everybody knew she was telling the truth, the questions that she was asked, and I guess I understand the questions that she was asked, because you got to make sure that she's telling the truth. But the other, once you know she telling the truth, and y'all still trying to press and all of that kind of stuff. Fake Dave Stinger says kinda is an understatement. Okay, I'm sensitive about it. But it's important to me that, people understand and treat people right. Y'all know it's hard for me to watch sports. What does that have to do with anything? It is hard for me to watch sports because I hate when, bad calls happen, refs. I hate to see injustice. Like, for real, I hate to see injustice. Like, my favorite team could be playing. And if I perceive that the refs is cheating for my favorite team, I start rooting against them. I don't like the refs. I don't like this game. I want that team to lose. I hate injustice. I'm more mature now, but I've been to the point where I just turn the game off. I don't care. I can't watch it. They cheating. I don't like that. It's not right. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy, but that's how passionate I am about justice, fairness, honor, integrity. Janice says, I took it seriously too, Emanuel, because I know people are afraid, and because there is an agreement. Yeah. What else is going on? I for real, I didn't intend on talking about that the whole time. I really didn't. So what else is going on? Like I said, I won't be in tomorrow. Because it is Juneteenth. Oh, and I might not be in on Friday. Well, I might not be in on Friday. I have to go to a funeral, or the funeral is actually Saturday. I have to go to a celebration of life service, which is different from I think they're calling them both. I think they're both a celebration of life. It's two different events. One is on Friday. One is Saturday. Saturday don't matter to y'all because I don't do the show on Saturday anyway. But I have to figure out the time. I know I'm going to a Juneteenth event tomorrow, so I won't be here tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure I won't be here on Friday. Pretty sure I won't be here on Friday. Who passed? The pastor's mother, who was a very active member of the church. As a matter of fact, I don't want to be out of line, but I had nothing but love for Mama Dunn. Nothing but love for Mama Dunn. That's the pastor's mother. And she was a lovely lady, just in the sense that, well, I mean, just a lovely lady. But, to me, like, she always had good conversation for me. She gave me a little bit of a hard time here and there. Her and Papa Dunn used to listen to my show on the radio, and they would come in. She would tell me certain stuff. She would, I don't like when you do, all of that language that you be using. And I'd be like, what language? And this is when I was on the radio. What language? What language? I don't be cussing or not. And you don't use no cuss words, but you know how to use them words to, you be cussing without cussing. And I'd be like, But yeah, we always got into great conversations and, back and forth. And it was just, I enjoyed my relationship with her. So, and when I would go to her house, she would take me and, I would go in the room. She was just a good, wonderful lady. Just a good lady. And always nice to me. Is that married? I think her name was Louise. I think it was Louise. But she was just, hold on. I'm going to look it up. Because I don't want to say. I just called her Mama Dunn. Hold on. I don't want to give the wrong name. I don't want to get the wrong name. Louise Dunn. Yes. Louise Dunn. Just such she was sassy. You know what I'm saying? She'd tell you what was on her mind. But I had nothing but love and respect for both Mama and Pop Dunn. So, yeah, that's who passed. Mama Dunn. And, when I heard about it, I was so sad. But she and I looked forward to coming in, and we didn't, like, every week, we didn't talk for no long time. It wasn't no long conversation, but she made it known. She listened. She was aware of everything I had said all week. She would tell me, I didn't like it when you said this, and I didn't like it when you said that. But you sure told him when you said this, and you sure told him when you said that. And, we would just get into that. It was great. It was just, I enjoyed her. I enjoyed my relationship with her. I still enjoy my relationship with Pop Dunn. And, pray for the family and all of that kind of stuff. Is that the slushy lady? No. This is a good, wholesome Christian woman. She ain't selling no alcoholic slushies. No. But yeah, I prayers out, condolences to the family. And, I know that they know this, but they're not the only ones who are going to miss her. A lot of us are going to miss her. But we all know death is a part of life, and you go on. So I probably won't be here on Friday either, because I'm pretty sure that'll conflict with the Friday service. So no Thursday, no Friday. And I don't do Mondays anyway. So I was about to say I'm certain I won't be here on Monday because I know I got something to do on Monday. But I do fully intend on being back here on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Tuesday at 3 o'clock. The slush lady is also a good, wholesome Christian woman, sir. I don't know about that. I don't know the lady. I'm not saying she's not. But she's peddling poison to people. That just don't seem all of that wholesome. She could be a good Christian lady, but is it wholesome to peddle poison to people? I don't know. I don't know that it is. But that don't make her a bad person. Maybe just not quite as wholesome. I'm just saying. I don't know. Anything else? Anybody got anything else? I was talking, or I wasn't talking. Nat says, nothing wrong with libation, sir. The Bible agrees. Okay, I'm trying to think of a way to say it, because it's hard to put it into words that people will understand. If there is nothing wrong with it, it's usually okay for everybody to do, right? Nothing wrong with it. Alcohol is poison. Shahira says she's not poisoning. It's alcohol, just like you buy from the store. Your body had to work hard to detoxify that because it's poison. It's poison. That's why you don't give it to your dogs. You know what I'm saying? Who's giving their dogs alcohol? Nobody. Why don't you give your dog alcohol? Because that's abuse, right? That's abuse. Why is it abuse? Because there's something wrong with it. Some of this stuff, it's just, if there is nothing wrong with it, give it to your kids. Well, I'm not giving no alcohol to no kids. Why not? There's nothing wrong with it. There's clearly something wrong with it because you won't give it to a kid. Now, y'all have just determined that y'all okay with it, even though there's something wrong with it. And as you're an adult, you can do what you want to do, but if there's nothing wrong with it, it's nice purified water. I would get that to my kid. I would get that to my dog. I would get that to, you know what I'm saying? Why not? There's nothing wrong with some nice pure water. I don't give my dog grapes. So you wouldn't give your dog grapes? I don't know if grapes are poisonous to dogs or not. If it's poisonous to dogs, I would say, no, don't give it to them. But if it's not, no, I'm not saying what you don't do. I'm saying what you won't do. So under no circumstances would you let your dog have a grape. Under no circumstances. Under no circumstances would you let your dog have some of your pickle. Under no circumstances. Regina says, yes, toxic for dogs. So then that's why you don't give them stuff that's toxic for them, because there's something wrong with it. I ain't gonna let your crazy self stop me from getting effed up. I'm not trying to. Drink. Look, you as an adult, you can poison yourself as much as you want to. You can poison yourself as much as you want to. I eat sugar. I wouldn't give sugar to my dog, but I'm still not gonna sit here and be like, ain't nothing wrong with eating sugar. Yeah, it is. Jerica says there are many fruits and vegetables that are poisonous to dogs. Then don't give them those. And you know why? Because there's something wrong with that. That's all I'm saying. There is something wrong with it. And that's why you don't give it to them. All this came from somebody saying there's nothing wrong with it. There is something wrong with it. There is something wrong with it. That's all right, Derek. I'm not saying that you shouldn't indulge. You can indulge. Speed 8472 says alcohol is a poison for sure. Sugar is not. I don't know. I don't know about that. I know it's addictive. That I can tell you for sure. Shahira says, so what's the difference between sugar and alcohol? Well, they're very much different. You really think sugar and alcohol are the exact same? Really? Oh, no. For real. Shahira, you really think sugar and alcohol are the exact same? You don't know the difference between the two? So if I gave you some alcohol, you would think it could be sugar. And if I gave you some sugar, you would think that might be alcohol. You genuinely don't know the difference between sugar and alcohol. Are you really asking me that question? I remember earlier in the show, I said, well, sometimes you just have to stop and ask why people are asking the questions that they're asking. And I don't believe that she does not understand that they're different. And I don't believe she's actually asking me what is the difference between the two. I can't believe that that's what she's doing. So I'm waiting on her to, what's the actual question that she's asking? But I don't think sugar is good for you. I don't think sugar is good for you at all. I don't think alcohol is good for you either. But I'm not the one who said there's nothing wrong with sugar. I didn't say that. Somebody else said that about alcohol. But I can't believe that she wouldn't know the difference if I sat the two in front of her. Is that for real? Like I got that bottle of wine down there, and if I sat that bottle of wine here and then went upstairs and got a bag of sugar, she would be confused about which is which. Like, oh, what's the difference between the two? She wouldn't know. You can't convince me of that. I know that's not what she was asking. So I'm just trying to get to the actual question that she's asking, because the one that she asked sounds ridiculous to me. It sounds ridiculous. So, yeah, I know that there's a different question there, and I don't want to just leave her hanging as if I didn't see the question. But I was sending messages on Wyatt's, and Wyatt was talking about this Israel and Iran conflict. And he's under the impression, if I understand, I don't necessarily want to mischaracterize him, But he's under the understanding that if Iran got a nuclear weapon, they would bomb America and Israel. No questions. They just would. Why? Because someone said death to America and death to Israel. So if they get one, we're all dead. And I'm like, that is a lot of assumption and fear mongering. That's assumption and fear mongering. Like, to me, that's not reasonable. Is it possible? Sure. Do I think it's plausible? No. But I think his point was, so he's in support of Israel bombing Iran because he doesn't want Iran to get a nuclear weapon. And the reason that Iran is close to getting a nuclear weapon is because of Joe Biden, or at least the Biden administration. Not because Barack Obama's administration had worked out some sort of a deal to keep, they was inspecting. Like, we gonna go in and we gonna inspect. And they had inspections set up in agreements. And then Trump came in and did away with I don't like this agreement. That might have something to do with the fact that they might be closer to getting a nuclear weapon than what Joe Biden and them did 4 years later. But Ronald Dixon says, I believe it, E-Man. But you believe it based on what? You believe it based on what? You believe it based on, to me, that's just fear. That's fear mongering. How long has Iran had bombs that can reach Israel? They're not just constantly bombing Israel. Like, if they were that hell-bent on destroying Israel, they just use all their arsenal to try to destroy Israel. They didn't lob a bomb at Israel. Israel lobbed a bomb at them. Well, yeah, but if they get a bomb, then they gon' bomb Israel. They had them, and they weren't. But they believed that they got 30 virgins waiting for them. First, I don't believe that they all believe that. I don't believe that the entire country believes that. Okay. And let's assume, though, for a minute, the entire country believes that if they kill themselves, they got 30 virgins waiting for them. And that's, what they go on, like paradise and 30 virgins. I think they would have all killed themselves by now. For instance, Benjamin Netanyahu said back in 2012 that Iran was 6 months away from highly enriched uranium. 13 years ago. Right? They want you. They're using. I remember this came up a lot during the election. All of these scare tactics that people are using. But the thing is, people believe it. People believe it. People believe it based on what? You've been to Iran. You talk to Iranians who told you that if we get a bomb, we just automatically, we're going to develop a bomb. We're going to develop enough of them to send at Israel and America. We're going to blow y'all off the map. No. You're working off of propaganda. That's propaganda. I know it sounds crazy. Only other countries use propaganda to teach their people that Americans are bad. America never uses propaganda to teach us that other countries are bad. Wrong. Wrong. And then the other conversation that I was having was, he was saying, well, they say death to America. And I said, well, people in America say death to other countries too. Now, when I say that, we don't use that vernacular. We say stuff like, we should let off a few nuclear bombs over there and turn the whole thing to glass. Y'all ain't never heard that. Y'all ain't never heard Americans say, we should drop some nuclear weapons over there and turn the whole thing to glass. That's the same thing as death to America. If we saying that about Iraq, that's death to Iraq. That's what we're saying when we say that. If we say that about Afghanistan, that's what we're saying. We're saying death to Afghanistan if we talking about, drop some bombs over there and turn the whole thing into glass. That's what we're saying. It's the same thing. Sure, it's different words. Sure, it's different words. But it's the same thing. It's the same concept. They bad and we want to wipe them off the map. But, people were pretending no Americans ever said that. Come on, stop it. I didn't just make that term up myself. Drop some nuclear bombs over there and turn the whole thing to glass. You think I just made that up? You think literally I just made that up? We've heard Americans say that. So does that mean we shouldn't have nuclear bombs too? Since Americans talk about death to these other countries, I mean, we shouldn't have nuclear weapons? I'm not here to say Iran should or shouldn't have nuclear weapons. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying stop the buying into all of the propaganda and fear mongering. I don't know if they believe the whole 30 virgins thing or not. I just know that's something that I heard some Americans say that the Muslims believe. I never heard a Muslim, from that part of the world say, hey, we believe if we die and, service to our cause that we get 30 virgins. I'm not saying it haven't happened. I'm just saying I never heard anybody say it. It's in my head because I've heard it. I've heard non-Muslim Americans say it so many times. I don't know if that's what they actually believe or not. Man, I heard it so much, I don't believe the propaganda. I don't know. But now I'm supposed to figure out the name of every American who's ever said, drop a nuclear weapon over there and turn the whole thing to glass. I'm supposed to figure out every American individual's name who said it. I was kind of reading up on this whole death to America thing in Iran. And I could find where a former Iranian leader had said it. But I couldn't find where the current, what they call supreme leader, Ayatollah, is it still Khomeini? It's a different one. Ayatollah Khomeini. Well, I guess when he was sworn in, there were people chanting death to America. But according to what I read, he didn't join in. Now, do that make it okay? People can, I guess, say whatever they want to say. And I get it. I get it to this extent. I'm fairly certain that the government of America has done things in parts of the world that make America look bad. Okay? I know you in America and we're kind of insulated and, we get the media that we get and we hear what we hear and, thus we believe what we believe. But I do have some international friends, people who live in America but also travel abroad because they're from other countries. And the stuff that they be telling me that they see and, like, I don't know if y'all know this, but America does not have a great reputation around the world. We have a reputation of doing bad stuff to people, destabilizing governments, killing government leaders and all of that kind of stuff around the world. So I'm not saying that I want people to feel like death to America or whatever. But if some of the stuff that they say is true, and I have no reason to believe it's not, if some of the stuff that they say is true, I could understand why there are countries around the world who like F America. And no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's your home team, and you don't root against your home team. Even if your home team is cheating, you good. You happy that your home team is cheating. As long as your home team win, that's all that matters. The home team won. Did the Bengals win? Yeah, but they cheated. It don't matter. The Bengals won. I'm happy. I use the Bengals. Y'all know I'm not watching NFL, but I know some people do, and y'all will understand the reference. I'm happy the Bengals won, but they cheated on that one play. So we won. Now, if it's the opposite, the Bengals lost. Yeah, but they cheated on that one play. See, we would have won if they wouldn't have cheated on that one play. And then y'all don't want to let that go for 2 weeks. And then when the playoffs come and then you miss it by a game, we would be in the playoffs if they hadn't cheated on that one play. You love it when your team is the team that get away with cheating. And so, yeah, when your country is the country that's doing bad stuff around the world and destabilizing governments and assassinating government leaders and all of that kind of stuff, it's cool because we safe. And we don't want nobody to look at us and think about the stuff that we did and be mad about it. But that's not reasonable. That's not reasonable. I don't know everything that we've done, and I'm not saying that we're the worst actor in the world. I'm sure that there are other bad actors around the world, and that, there are people, some of the things that we've done around the world is to protect our interests or the interests of our allies. Some of it probably just bad stuff because, white men in power. Here's one. Ronald Dixon says, but would you leave? Sure. Given the right circumstances, there are a number of places in the world where people can live quite comfortably. Again, I got some friends that actually live in Canada, and they love it. I know a young lady, she's not my friend. I know a young lady who lives in London. She loves it. I know some people who live over in which island is it? It ain't Jamaica. In one of the islands. They live over there. They come back for medical care and they go back. That's the only thing they come back for. So would I leave if the situation was right? Yeah, sure. I'm not beholden to a hunk of land. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm not an old big rush. Ooh, I want to see Europe. But if I ended up in Europe, I would just end up in Europe. My point, Ronald Dixon, is I'm not buying into all of the propaganda. Because I think that's what a lot of it is, propaganda. And I don't understand why the people who are now pushing, yeah, Israel is our ally, and we need to help our ally, and we should be a part of everything, because if they get a bomb, then they're gonna come for us. And excuse me, and yeah, we need to help them, and we need to supply them with weapons, and if we got to go over there and send troops over there, then we should send troops over there, and we got to do whatever it takes to help. They're our ally, and this is a part of what you do for your allies. Ukraine, I can't believe America was giving Ukraine money. Wait a minute, I thought that's what we do. We got to help our ally. And if Russia could take over Ukraine and they could just keep marching, and next thing you know, Russia could be trying to do something to us. Why is it Ukraine just let them have it on their own? F Ukraine. We gave them too much money. We gave them too much support. We need to just let them do their own thing. We don't want Ukrainians over here. Israel, oh, we got to help Israel. They're our ally. Got to do whatever it takes. Spend as much money as it takes. I'm sure there's a difference in the way that it's perceived, and I would love it if somebody could explain to me the difference in the way it's perceived. Why? Why were you guys anti-helping Ukraine when Joe Biden was helping Ukraine? But now you're pro-helping Israel when Trump wants to help Israel. Jacqueline says Jews. I don't think it's that. Not for some of these people. For some people, I'm sure it is. But for some people, I think it's Trump. Some people, I think it's a Trump thing. Now, if Trump had said, we're going to help Ukraine, they would be like, we need to help Ukraine. They ain't worried about the money now. Remember, the people was making a big deal. Oh, we done sent $100 million over there. How much money have we sent to Israel? Y'all ain't even keeping track. Remember, it was about the money. We can't afford it. Well, but we can afford this. Help me understand. I can be taught. I learn. Please call in and tell me, here is the reason why I didn't think we should be giving money to Ukraine to help fight off Russia, who invaded their country. And here is why I think we should be giving money to Israel, who bombed Iran. I just want to know why, what in y'all mind, what's the difference? Why is it okay for one and not the other? That's it. And I'll listen, and then I'll understand. But I'm personally, just me, not sitting around afraid that Iran is going to get a nuclear weapon and bomb America, and then my kids and my grandkids is going to be dead if Israel don't win. That's just me. I'm crazy like that though. It's my stomach. Yeah, I'm crazy like that. But I don't understand the difference. Ronald Dixon says, because it's us here in America, that's the way I feel, and they don't like Americans, and we live here. Russia like Americans? You think Russia like Americans? And now this is kind of a secret. Not a lot of people know this. And, from time to time, I try to share stuff that I know with you because, I know some stuff I learned that everybody don't know. Russia has nuclear weapons. Now, shouldn't all of y'all, we should go spend all of this money and help Israel be helping Ukraine? Ronald says, you know what I'm talking about. No, I really don't know what you're talking about. So I'm asking, explain it to me. I really don't know what you're talking about. I really don't understand why there's a difference in your mind between helping these two allies. Right. Israel has nuclear weapons too. I say, and this is just me, based on my limited knowledge, let Israel fight Israel's fight. If Israel chose that fight, because again, and I may be off. I may be off base. And I'm willing to listen to someone with more knowledge who can help clarify things for me. But to my understanding, Iran wasn't bombing Israel. They hadn't dropped any weapons on Israel. They wasn't saying, hey, we about to bomb y'all. Israel said, oh, we think they close to having a nuclear weapon. Let's throw the first shot. And I am not one of those people who, I'm going to kind of break it down human to human. If you got beef with him and he got beef with you and you go sock him because you believe that he was about to sock you, I'm not helping you jump him. You socked him. You in that fight by yourself. You shouldn't have socked him. You should at least waited till he cocked back. You know what I'm saying? Something. You don't just be like, yeah, but I believe that if he see me, he gonna sock me. So I'm gonna go find him and sock the S out of him. He ain't did nothing to you lately. You know what I'm saying? He ain't did nothing to you lately. So if you decide to start the fight, don't call me talking about, help me, help me, help me. Next thing you know, me and you was holding him down on the ground because you threw some hot and you screamed, help me, help me, help me. I'm helping you. And, I'm all shook up and had to get elbow surgery. Just don't start it. Walk away. Walk away. let Israel fight the fight that they started. But I might catch a stray. Y'all know that's really what y'all saying, don't y'all? All y'all, we gotta help. They're our ally. We gotta help them. What about Ukraine? We ain't gotta help them. They can fight their own fight. I don't understand. Well, Donald Trump said that Ukraine can fight their own fight, but he said we gotta help. I'll just be listening and trying to pay attention. That's it. Ronald says, but it won't. I'm reading Ronald's because Ronald was 100% on board with, yeah, we got to help Israel because if we don't, we all going to die. So Ronald says, but it won't end that way. That's all I'm saying. We live here, and we going to die. I know that's the only way we going to get out alive, but you know what I'm saying. No, I promise you, I don't know what you're saying. But for real, you listen to what you're saying. You saying, if we don't help Israel right now, we gonna die. That don't sound like fear-mongering to you. Like, draw the line from one to the other logically. Draw the line from one to the other logically. Israel bombs Iran. If we don't help Israel beat Iran into submission, we gonna die. Just draw that line for me. They got sleeper cells. That's what I've been hearing lately. Oh, they got sleeper cells. Biden, hold on. We are blaming sleeper cells on Joe Biden. There were no sleeper cells, assuming you believe such a thing. There were no sleeper cells before, 2020? There were no sleeper cells before 2020. Sleeper cells just became a thing in 2020. That's it. Joe Biden. Because of Joe Biden, there are sleeper cells now. They didn't exist before then. Okay. And now they're going to be activated. Wait a minute. I'm for real, I'm trying to understand the logic. So now there are sleeper cells in America from Iran. And if we in America don't help, y'all forget, I really am trying to get the logic, whether I agree with it or not. If we in America don't help Israel, the sleeper cells is going to kill us all. That's the logic. That's the logic I keep hearing. Sleeper cells, and if we don't help Israel, the sleeper cells is going to kill us all. That sound like the sleeper cells want us to help Israel. Hold on, that don't make sense. So all right, there are sleeper cells in America. And so if Iran wins this conflict, then they're going to activate the sleeper cells in America and they're going to kill us all. That sounds like backwards logic to me. I would think that the sleeper cells will be activated if they lose, not if they win. If they win, they won. But I don't understand all the sleeper cell logic. Ronald Dixon says, Emanuel, they have allies, and those cats are here. All I'm saying is when it jump off, everyone's free game. America is not used to foreign terrorists or American terrorists. We ain't gonna know how to act. That's all I'm saying. Just be prepared and aware your surroundings. I'm smoking weed trying to talk to you, but you know how the phone do. I really don't understand. I'm glad you said you're smoking weed. That makes some sense. Okay, that makes sense. You're smoking weed. And so you're a little paranoid. Okay. All right. So I don't even have to understand the logic. I just have to be high. Or understand that high people sometimes be paranoid. Okay. I get it. I get it. Mary says, explain sleeper cells. Okay. In theory, I believe, here is what they mean when they talk about sleeper cells. There are groups of people from, since we're talking Iran, Iran has sent people here to live amongst us. And they live normal lives. Like, they own stores and they drive cabs and whatever other stereotypical, thing you can think of that an Iranian would do. They just live normal lives here. But at any minute, they could get a call, their beeper would go off, or they get a text or email, or, somebody throw their hat up like that dude in Montgomery. And they know to go into action. And so when they go into action, they turn into terrorists. And they have, if Iran wins, somehow they ship nuclear bombs here undetected. So they have nuclear bombs that they set off all over America and kill us all. That's what sleeper cells are. According to this logic. Now, I believe that there may be terrorists, people living among us, sent to do bad stuff, just on demand, like, fly in and knock down some towers in New York and whatnot. I believe that might exist. But I'm not sitting around panicked about it. I mean, if they hear, they already hear, right? And when dude throw his hat up, it's over. So us helping Israel destroy Iran, how's that going to stop dude from throwing his hat or sending a text or, whatever? If they already here, they already here. Ron say, let one MF push the button. We all done. How big do you think their nuclear bomb is? I'm going to tell you another secret that you may not know, Ron. Ronald Dixon. America is huge. One nuclear bomb is not going to kill us all. Not that you want to have one nuclear bomb go off anywhere in America, but that would have to be a big A bomb for one MF to push the button and kill us all. Do y'all not understand? Like, just the hyperbolic language. It's fear tactics. It's scare tactics. It's fear mongering. They got you freaking out. They done convinced you, Ronald, that one person can push one button and blow up all of America and kill everybody. Mary says chemical warfare can kill us all. Well, theoretically, nuclear weapons can kill us all. But what are the chances of them having enough sleeper cells over here with enough chemical agent to kill every American? What's the chances of that? I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. But what are the chances? She said, why the panting? Because they are scaring the S out of y'all on some of this unreasonable stuff. Ed said radiation. What about radiation? What are they going to do? For real, I need y'all to listen to what y'all saying. And again, listen to what they're saying. Now, let me make some concessions here. All right, let's say something happens in the heart of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is toast. Cincinnati is toast. If there's a sleeper cell with a nuclear bomb in the heart of Cincinnati, Cincinnati's toast. Cincinnati is not America. And hear what he and those people, he's using the same language that they're using. They're going to kill us all. You really believe if a nuclear weapon goes off in Cincinnati, every American dies? If a chemical weapon goes off in Cincinnati, every American dies? They are scaring the crap out of y'all. Y'all are worried about total annihilation from a sleeper cell that may or may not have a nuclear weapon or enough radiation to kill every American. I'm just telling y'all that's not reasonable. And somehow, America helping Israel right now is the key to stopping it all. Right, Steban. The only thing, no. I was about to say the only thing they ain't said is it's the migrants, but they really have. That's why they're blaming Joe Biden. They're saying this is all Joe Biden's fault because he let all them migrants come in from all over the world, and them was the sleeper cells, and they all snuck into America, apparently with nuclear weapons that are strategically placed all over the country, and one person gonna push a button, and it's gonna set off all of the migrants' nuclear weapons, and then we all gonna die. That's actually their logic. You think I'm making it up, but that is their actual logic. That's how Joe Biden gets the blame for this. I'm just saying, it was a conversation that I heard earlier, and I was like, this is fear mongering. When we were talking about Project 2025, that wasn't fear mongering. When we were telling y'all that if Donald Trump get elected, he's going to try to be a dictator. That wasn't fear-mongering. We were just listening to the stuff that he was saying. And we see that we were right. Now, y'all talking about Joe Biden let in immigrants who became sleeper cells, who all are armed with nuclear weapons that's going to blow up America and kill every American if the United States don't help Israel defeat Iran. That's fear-mongering. Some people falling for it. I don't understand. I don't understand. But it is what it is. Y'all, I got to get out of here. I'm going to just tell y'all, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Juneteenth is coming up. Enjoy yourself. Let's celebrate freedom. Hold on, Sierra says the independent, conservative black manosphere have been delusional lately. They really have. They really have. They really have. And you can't stop them. And you can't really talk sense into them because their response when you say stuff like it's not reasonable that Joe Biden has let in, I know I was getting ready to go. It's not reasonable that Joe Biden has let in immigrants that are all armed with nuclear warheads that are going to blow up and kill every American if we don't help Israel defeat Iran. They like, well, you can believe what you want to believe. But you know what I'm saying. And that's how they justify it in their brains. Like, they dismiss all reason and logic because they heard that this was going to happen. And you can't convince them that it's probably not the way everything is going down. You can't convince them of that. And they freaking out. They heard it on Fox News. Yes, and all those other ultra-conservative sites. And they really don't think about it. Like, how much logic does that contain? Ed says they have technology that can fly over areas and detect nuclear energy. Who, and why would they be using that? Ronald, see, this is the dismissal of the reason and the logic. Ronald says, for all of y'all, for those who don't know me, I'm very solid. Here's the logic that dismisses all of the logic and the reason. If you know, you know. That somehow that dismisses all the reason and the logic. So they're going to kill. Literally, they're going to kill every American. One nuclear weapon or all the nuclear weapons that all of the immigrants have brought in, stationed around the country. Somebody going to push a button, which is going to alert them to all push their button, and then every American is going to be dead. And you say that's not reasonable. And the answer is, if you know, you know. Well, you got me there. You got me. You got me. You got me. You got me. Get out there. Enjoy the day before the rain come, which realistically, the rain is probably be here shortly. But enjoy the day. Enjoy Juneteenth. Enjoy the weekend. As always, you're out and about enjoying yourself. First, Don't be worried about the sleeper cells. Somehow I think we're going to be okay this weekend. And if I'm wrong, it won't matter because we'll all be dead. But other than that, enjoy yourself. And as always, be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.